House Groups, we just finished our 2-week series in the book of Esther. We kind of have told the story both weeks and then looked at the character Mordecai, and then this week the character of Esther. And I highlighted for you one of my absolute favorite sentences in the Bible. This is from Esther chapter 4, verses 13 and 14. Actually, I'll start in verse 12. When Esther's words were reported to Mordecai, he sent back this answer: "Do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this." I love that sentence. Who knows? Maybe you've arrived in this royal position for such a time as this. I love that sentence. But my favorite sentence is actually before that, where Mordecai says, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place. Mordecai has confidence in God's faithfulness. He believes that God is on the side of his people and that God will act decisively. He wonders with Esther if God hasn't positioned her in this place to be a part of what God is doing. But he says to her, hey, listen, I trust God. I believe that God is faithful. I believe that God is a God who makes and keeps promises, and that he is going to provide us relief, and he is going to provide us deliverance. And then he says to her, maybe you get to be a part of that. And in saying that, he's sort of saying, maybe I get to be a part of that. Maybe this is God's plan, or a version of God's plan, where he uses me and he uses you, and together we get to help God be faithful to his people. But it starts with this place of confidence. And when I hear that, I ask myself, do I have the kind of confidence that Mordecai has? And then I ask myself, do I have the kind of courage that Esther has? And I just would invite you to ratchet up your confidence in God, because when you ratchet up your confidence in God, kind of your courage just gets pulled right along with it. Don't worry about mustering up your courage. Instead, pursue a growing confidence in who God is, what God has promised, and the reality that God makes and keeps all of his promises. And then from that place, obey with courage, because who knows? You might get to be a part of something amazing that God is doing. And you might even get to see what that amazing thing is. But whether or not you get to see the end result of a small obedience, or whether or not you get to be a part of a massive obedience that requires incredible courage, it really starts from this place of saying, we believe that God is who God says he is. And as a result of that, we can be who we were created to be. Confidence before courage. Courage, absolutely yes. But let's grow our confidence in who God is, because that's really what living life with God is all about. It's not about what I do. It's not about what you do. It's about the finished work of Jesus Christ, the activity of God throughout all of human history. And this thing that we get to say, like, this is what we get to do, not what we have to do. And we get to be aligned with who God is and what God cares about in the world.